Let me share something right now real quick with you. If you are struggling to go and work out, if you do it only when you feel like it, then you'll probably get the results you already have, because it's gonna take you doing it when you don't feel like it to get something that you don't already have. The difference into getting where you want is literally in doing it when you don't feel like it. And the moment you start reprogramming your mind, working out when you don't feel like it, after a few times, when you don't feel like it, that's not going to be a clue for an opportunity to not do it. Like, it's just going to be a feeling, but the feeling is not going to guide you towards not doing it. It's just going to exist. That's the feeling, fine. But you have an appointment with yourself. You have this scheduled with yourself. There are literally so many things that we do that we don't feel like it because we have to, like going to your job, etc. And that's of course because you get paid, and then you can pay rent, and you know, you have the home and all of that. And you don't necessarily get paid or get some sort of a reward, which I think health and fitness and energy and all of that is a huge reward. But in our society, we're not like built that way to think that way. It's the thing that we neglect the moment it gets tough. Sorry for the noise. The windows are open because it's warm outside right now. And I live in a busy area in Amsterdam, as some of you may know. Last week, I had a day where I was not feeling the gym, working out at all. Like, not at all. I was in a bad mood. I felt really bad. I felt low in energy, and I was stalling. I was procrastinating. So I went to get a matcha latte at a coffee place, and then I walked to my car, and I sat in my car, and I scrolled a bit on TikTok. I recorded something. And then I drove to the gym, and then I sat there in the parking lot in my car for like 45 minutes because partially it was raining and I was waiting for the rain to stop so I could walk towards the gym. So 45 minutes I sat in my car, and I was like, I cannot justify this to myself to go home now, you know? All this effort. I spent almost an hour and a half from getting the matcha to getting in my car to driving to, like, I have to go, but I was not feeling it at all. And you know what happened? I spent 3 hours in the gym. It was like therapy. I was doing cardio, and after 30 minutes, I had all these epiphanies and insights, and I was texting all of what I was like thinking, all of the epiphanies. There was just like more and more coming. It started at like a 30-minute mark where I was walking on the treadmill, and after 30 minutes, I started feeling lighter. Even my Apple Watch was getting looser, so it was also like a lot of water that I was holding on to. It just like made my head clear. It made me feel so good. So I spent like 2 hours. I walked, I biked, I did all kinds of cardio just for my mental health. So there was so much clutter in my brain. And then I did some strength training as well. And I slept so well that night. But then 2 days later, again, I was not feeling the gym. And it was such a weird reminder that, like, oh my God, if 2 days before where I was really not feeling it and I went, I have no excuse now. Not that I have to have an amazing workout every time. I do not put that pressure on myself at all. But because I went, even though I was not feeling it, I made that link in my mind, in my brain. Like, yeah, I'm not going to be guided by my feelings to go to the gym or not. Maybe in other areas of life, but not for like going to the gym or not. I want a certain outcome. I want a certain kind of health and fitness and all of that. And a certain amount of days in the gym is required for that. So I'm not going to be guided by if I feel like it or not, because that's a weird thing. I cannot count on that. What if you tell your boss, I'm going to come into work whenever I feel like it? Well, then you're not going to get paid, or you're going to get fired. Why then can we keep the promises to ourselves like we do towards all other people? I also had another thought in my head, which was like, when you need to catch a plane and you need to get up like really, really early, let's say 4 a.m., you do so. So why can't I just wake up at 4, let's say 5 a.m. to do my creative work, my focused work, maybe work out, just like the things that's gonna get me further in life? I understand one is fun because you're gonna go on holiday, and the other probably not, because you're not gonna get the reward straight away. It's something that you're building. And for something to not get the reward straight away, but maybe, we don't know, maybe in a few months or a few years, and in order for that to happen, maybe to happen, you know, you have to get up at 5 a.m. A lot of people don't do that because they're not going to bet on themselves. They're not going to bet on themselves for feeling the discomfort right now and the slightest possibility for a certain kind of success later. They don't know when. Like if I want to have a successful business or a successful YouTube channel and I have a 9-to-5 job and I need to get out of the house at like 8 and I come home late, I want to work out, I want to eat, cook my meal, all of that. When am I going to edit the videos? When am I going to film the videos? I need to either stay up late or get up early. Let's say I want to get up early. I don't know if my YouTube channel is going to be successful if I do that day in, day out. Who's going to tell me that's going to be successful? You need to have some sort of hope and trust in yourself and then bet on yourself, knowing that doing the hard things is because you believe that on the other side you are able to make it. But if you don't believe that, then why wake up at 5? Why go to the gym when you don't feel like it? You need to be able to bet on yourself. And I think you're going to build the trust and you're going to build the doing stuff and then having the result when you start doing it with like little things, small things. So you can see and feel the effect of you deciding to do some things not based on your feelings of not wanting to do it, has an effect. And then you're going to get confident and then you're going to do it with bigger things and bigger things and bigger things. I remember like studying for a test and then getting a good grade. And I was like, wait a second, I have influence on this. So that means that my effort is being rewarded. Funny enough, there was a time where I thought that weight loss didn't work on me. Like I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then somebody said, you're capable of weight loss. There's nothing wrong with your body. And that just, I don't know what it did, but it opened up a part in my brain of like, wait, I had this belief that there was something different or off about me, that I could not lose weight. I can lose weight. I don't know, it's just such a simple thing, but I had this story in my mind that I couldn't. And then all the decisions after that, like I decided to go to college and study to become a dietitian and all of that because I actually started believing that I could. And I think that's the start with anything. Like even with your body, you wanting a certain weight. I had a friend who had a little bit of weight on her, but she wasn't like super overweight or anything. And she said to me one day, this was in high school, she said to me, I will never be super skinny. And I was like, how can you say that to yourself? You completely vanished all the hope. I mean, if you don't want to, that's something else. But if you actually believe that it's never going to happen for you, that's just not true. You don't want it. And by you saying that it's never going to happen for you is a way of putting the responsibility away from yourself. I think it's super powerful to say, I could if I wanted to, but I don't want it enough. I don't want to do the things and give up the things to get there. It's not a priority in my life. I think that's super powerful. But when have you ever heard someone say that? It's always, oh, I can't because of this and that's happening in my life. And if I this and if I that, and if I didn't have children, if I had a gym nearby, so many things. I always look for people that make the impossible possible, as in super busy people that have a fit body. I look at them for hope because I never want to give up hope on myself with the things I want to achieve. You know, I can name like 20 things I want to achieve and then cross off 10 because they're not that important to me, because I'm not going to work on 20 things at the same time, 20 big goals at the same time. I have like 3 and all of the rest, it's fine, but I'm not triggered by it if other people are working towards them. I can honestly say that's not a priority in my life right now. I would like it, but I'm not going to put the work into it. Also, because I'm putting the work into 3 other things in my life right now. And I really want to achieve those things. And that's important for me. And one of them is my body. And I feel like everybody kind of wants a certain body, but not really. And it's also because it's like, I don't know, in this society, I've said this before in a video, it's kind of your currency. It's, you know, pretty privilege, all of that. The way your body looks shows just how much discipline you can have, the respect you have towards yourself. It's not always true, but that is what's programmed in the collective's mind. So that's a tricky one, and being confident in not wanting to change it seems like giving up another game of life, I guess. But yeah, that's a whole other topic. But still, just bet on yourself with the things that you find really important and you want to achieve. And find people who are making it possible, even though they have a hard time. But you know, you can always look at people that are making it possible and say, well, they have this and I don't have that. You have so many advantages that you're not even aware of because you're focusing on what other people have that you don't have. Honestly, everything can be an advantage and can also be a disadvantage. Having hardship in your life can be an advantage because it makes you resilient. It makes you, I don't know, want to prove things and maybe work harder and achieve things. Not having hardships in your life can be great in the fact that you don't have that pain, but then on the other hand, you might not have the drive. It's just how you look at it. Everything can be an advantage or a disadvantage. It's just how you look at it. The responsibility is within yourself. There are people that make it in life or make it with their career or whatever, and then they call themselves self-made, you know? But there are also people that don't make it in life and they don't call that self-made. They blame circumstances. And I always believe in the quote, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. I really believe that, and that gives me a lot of power over my own life. And I like that feeling because then I can look at the parts where I'm not happy about and have power over them. So I can change it. That makes me feel good because that means I can change it. I can make it better. That gives me hope. Hope is such an underrated feeling. Is it a feeling? Yeah, it's a feeling. It's really underrated. Do you know that people that are in prisons and held hostage and stuff, that the people that have hope survive, usually, and the people that don't have hope give up and they die. Hope is such an underrated feeling. Having hope for yourself and your dreams and your goals and never giving up. If I would give up hope on my dreams, I don't know, I would become really, really bitter. I cannot even begin to imagine how that would feel. Like giving up hope for those 3 things that I really want. No way, Jose. Anyways, I hope this video is able to redirect you a little bit away from your feelings. And I mean that in a way like, oh, I'm not feeling going to the gym, I'm not feeling waking up at 5, I'm not feeling all of that. You don't have to wake up at 5. You could be really productive and waking up by 8. It just, for me, like I am a night owl, but it messes with my day. I don't like that. I don't like waking up and the whole world is already doing stuff. So I like getting up early because then there's this silence and that makes me really creative. And also it's that discomfort feeling that I am putting myself through because there are so many things I want to achieve in life and I'm not going to achieve that by being comfortable. So I need to get used to feeling uncomfortable, which is working out, which is a cold shower. I don't do that. That's just too much for me. I hate that. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes I do like a little bit at the end, but that's also a way to train yourself by putting yourself through uncomfortable situations so that you can get used to it, so that you're not put off by it. And then because of that, you're not resilient and you just like cannot get anywhere in life because the littlest discomfort is going to make you want to stop. I think you get what I'm saying. Thank you guys for listening to this long story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you want to see more of. The sun is setting and it's time for me to, I want to say take a shower, but I need to shower my dog because she went into the mud today and she's like, I don't know, she was just like rolling around in the grass and she's really dirty right now. So I need to shower her, clean the house, and then go to bed because my alarm goes off at 5:30. It's not 5, but it's 5:30. I'm getting there. Working towards 5. Thank you guys. See you next time for a new video. Mwah. Bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking at the flame out.